Okay, this is the thing, okay? This is not about ego, okay? It's not about ego. It's not about, like a lot of times, like people talk about things or talk about themselves, and the goal is to invoke something out of the person they're talking to, and that makes them feel better, and that's an illusion. That doesn't exist. So for me, if I'm ever talking about myself or what I'm doing or anything like that, it's not for the sake of receiving from the person that's hearing it. It's more so informing, so there's a connection, right? I position myself in business to add value financially to whoever that I'm doing business with. So the projects that I've done or the projects I've produced have made my partners money, have made the people involved money, right? And like, say for instance, it's like, I know a lot of people, a lot of entertainers, a lot of them on my Facebook or whatever, and now because there's so many blog sites and there's so many media outlets, it's relatively easy to get press, you know what I mean? They're looking for new content, they're looking for new stories, right? So it's like sometimes, like, a lot of people, or some people, like, they create like a viral video and it's like a concept and something controversial, whatever, and they get pressed maybe on that topic or that subject or anything like that. In their mind, they equate that same press to their favorite celebrity that they watched on television or some type of medium growing up. So they associate that press to what they experience, and that's like, it's not the case, right? It's not the case. And in fact, those people come and go, you know what I mean? Like, if someone does a viral video about some traumatic experience and they build the logic around it, it's like, that's what they are. That's what they are. That's what they're always going to be. And after that idea is gone or someone replaces it, it's over with, right? So for me, I've always positioned myself in business to show that I can make money for people, and to the point that almost all the music artists that I've really worked with intimately were people off the internet that were in their bedrooms. And not only did I produce hit projects, but I actually took the talent and I developed them to be able to have the confidence and the aptitude to visualize themselves as a star, right? Because we're talking about people that didn't grow up doing auditions and didn't go to acting classes and dance classes, or we're talking about people that just decided, inspired by television, to create things. And they made an impact. So to be able to take that, I did a little dance, and turn that into, I can be a spokesperson for a brand, or I can act in this show, or even the movies, the projects that I've done. It's like the projects, even the movies that I produced, were like by people that weren't considered like mainstream actors or actresses. You know what I mean? They were people that, like, I thought were genius and I thought could bring people in. You know what I mean? And then even those the concept, the scripts, and these things, they have to be articulated. Not just to investors, not just to producers, but to the end user. You know what I mean? So I've always chose projects that made that connection and that impact to the people of my generation and younger, and so I meet a lot of people, and they have these kind of like inflated ideas about who they are, and they even looking at me like, who are you? Because they're looking at Puff Daddy, looking at Jay-Z, they're looking at Martin Scorsese, they're looking at all these other producers and thought leaders, but these people came up in a different industry, you know what I mean? They came up with corporations that like printed cassettes and printed in press CDs, and now they're dealing with downloading as an issue. And that was a pretty structured business that existed for decades before that, and they just kind of came in and they were there and they made a lot of money and they made an impact, and so you look at a guy like me, and I'm a guy who's like producing like the new executive producing like the New Boys, and developing like guys like YG, and you have Young Ace and Earl Swayze and all these different guys, Todd Dollar Sign, all these I could keep going, Rejects, Cali Swag District, all these artists were from their bedroom, you know what I mean? And they became stars, and I played a big part in developing that. Now, I didn't want to manage those people, because a manager, that's a trade. Managers don't necessarily, are not bankable, you know what I'm saying, per se, unless they have talent already or whatever. It's like they just manage. I am a I'm a concept creator. I'm a concept implementer. I'm a concept marketer. I'm a thought creator. You know what I mean? That's what I am. You know what I mean? I engage those thoughts with consumers. So with all that being said, while I'm growing my network, while I'm expanding that, while I'm building those relationships, because it's a grassroots network, it's not just about me shooting some content and airing it on some technology and developing relationships with affiliates. It's actually like building a grassroots movement that I express or leverage into a network and a community and an audience. So it's a different building. So it's not that, but the network is growing every day, and we're in the right path. American High School, for example, that was a movie that I executive produced. Now, what was the logic behind that movie? The logic behind that movie was, okay, let me take something that shouldn't exist and let me turn that into something that makes money, something that makes a market impact. If I wanted to right now, just from what I've done, there's not one major recording artist or even movie studio or television dynamic that I couldn't work with and supply value to. But it's like, that doesn't set me up for the next 20 years as being someone who could deal with banks and financial institutions myself, showing my ideas and my visions and my bankability. So American High School was just another example of me taking something that should not have existed, with a cast that was like out of the box. The people produced the movie were out of the box, but because of the concept and because of how targeted it was and how the timing was exact, and Aubrey O'Days and Jillian Murray's became stars out of that, and you know, myself, you know, that was a long time ago, but it got me to where I'm at today. And so I'm coming out with another movie, and the theme around this movie, it's in the same vein of American High School. It's like, you could even say it's part 2, you know what I mean? Even though it's a different storyline, it's a different idea, but it's the same idea built around the concept, right? And the thing around it is like, now I'm at that stage of my career where it's like, it's not about like, oh, you know, I'm in the press, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing this cool project, or I'm at this event, or I'm meeting with these cool people, or even that I'm even doing a deal, you know what I mean? What it's really about is showing Hollywood that, like, I'm creating perfection, you know? Like, the Jerkin movement was perfection. You know what I mean? The Jerkin movie, it was beyond the screen. I created a concept of a movie and created actors that all participated through the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a reality. Anyone who was around during the time of the Jerkin movement, it was an absolute reality. There were events, there was fashion, there was visuals, there's publicity, stars were created, people became iconic, global. That's what I was creating. It's like, people, you know, be like, oh, you didn't create the Jerkin movement. Yes, I did. Did I create the jerk wiggly leg dance? No, I didn't do that. But I took something they were inspired by and created a whole logic where kids say, you know what, I don't have to be in a gang to be cool in the neighborhood, and I don't have to be an athlete. I could just be creative. I don't have to dress like them. I could dress like me. You know what I mean? The Jerkin movement and skinny jeans movement actually created the context for Kendrick Lamar, created the community that, because as they got older, I mean, kids, you know, they're not going to keep doing the same dance, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't about me creating some movement and that whole thing that lasts forever. It's about me showing that movements can be created and movements can be monetized. The skinny jean movement had nothing to do with a dance. It was just another sentiment that inspired the kids that I felt was positive, because it inspired individuality. But the point around all this is that the next movie that I'm doing is to show that I'm creating perfection. And I'm a person that creates millions of dollars for my partners by what's going on in my head, my ideas. And so now I have to get on this. I had to take this next movie. The script's already written. It's like, it's already done. You know what I'm saying? I'm just designing the business model moving forward. It's already done. We're ready to go. The vision is there. The concept is there. And so what I'm doing right now is taking a movie, taking a sentiment, taking an idea of something that I already built upon. Like American High School already had, like, the trailer alone almost has, 50 million views. 50 million views. You understand? That's a movie trailer with very little marketing budget, but it's so dead on the community, so dead on in terms of the posts of the kids. It had that impact. the jerking movement. Forget about all the music acts that were dead on. Forget about the shows, the web series, not just one, but a few that were created that made records that broke hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't about television for jerking because it was a viral movement. You know what I'm saying? It was a viral movement, and all the successful campaigns, the clothing at Hot Topics. You know, this is perfection. You know, these are things that no one's doing as an executive producer. No one's creating concepts and creating merchandise deals. You know what I'm saying? Creating music deals, creating film deals, creating web deals, doing deals with the top advertisers, brands in the world, are spending millions of dollars with my ideas, things that I'm creating. So the next movie I'm doing is about perfection. You know what I'm saying? It's about perfection. It's about showing perfection. And that perfection is going to be what leads to the funding to expand my network. So it's not about me communicating and bragging or trying to make myself look good, because it doesn't matter for me at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's becoming the next thing or nothing at all for me. It's like no one's impressed by anything that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's about just pushing ideas forward globally. You know what I mean? And so I need my network as my device to be able to do that, to expand my ideas and these concepts to improve humanity. Because it's not just about consumerism, you know what I mean? It's about creativity, it's about self-expression, it's about individuality, it's about entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship, positivity, unity, communities. That's underneath the things that I'm creating, right? Those are the thoughts underneath it. So going forward, I need to show that I'm creating perfection. And me being a person that it's okay to invest millions of dollars over and over and over again into the ideas that I have, because I'm showing you that the heartbeat of the consumer I have. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. So I don't know. I just wanted to do this video. I mean, maybe certain parts connected, maybe it didn't. But the point is like, that's what I'm trying to do out here. And then if you're trying to do anything in this business, whether you're talent or in the business side, you have to show people that you can make them money. Not that you're smart or you're genius or you're cute or you're a good dancer or a good rapper. Show me to show them how you make money. And then anybody who has a certain amount of money behind them, advertisement, is going to be a big star. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't take a lot for a person to be a star. You know, it doesn't take a lot, you know? And so I'm going to prove that. You know, I'm going to raise money for my network, and the network's based around me. I'm going to put myself on every street, every major street in the United States. And then from there, I'm going to leverage that in every major street in all the emerging markets around the world. And then through those emerging markets, I'm going to hit the rest of the markets. But it's not because I'm cool, awesome, or great. It's just to show that there's a model that everyone can duplicate. And every American should really think about how to make a global impact, because that's the gift of being an American. When I say the greatest gift in the world is to be an American citizen, it's not because I'm saying America's better than any other country. You know, like, I love Israel. I love so many different countries around the world that mean so much to me. But being an American citizen gives you the ability to impact the whole world, to influence and make things better for people around the world. You know what I mean? To influence policies, to make things happen, you know? And so that's the gift of being an American, is being able to impact the whole world, even from your bedroom. So I'm on the quest of creating perfection, showing Hollywood you could believe in me. Let's make this happen. Positivity.